Ethereum has hit a top. Likely next week, we are going to see a correction, a pullback. And today, I'm going to go over the technical reasons of why. And remember, the price has the fundamentals already baked in. So if you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let's dive straight into Ethereum and why you should be on the short side over the coming next few weeks, especially if a few particular things occur. We are on a daily chart with Ethereum, and we've clearly had a nice upward surge in price over the last few weeks, if not the last few months. But do you see any pattern, any particular pattern that you should be paying attention to? Well, markets tend to move in fives and threes. And what we can see here with the trained eye, and I'm going to make it clearer for you, is we've got this initial move up. We call that a wave one. We've got this correction. It's called a wave two. We got this real big surge, typical of a wave three. We've had another pullback called a wave four, and it looks like a classic wave five topping out over here. We've also got something called bearish divergence, where the momentum is looking like it's moving towards the downside, but the price made a higher high over here. That's called divergence or bearish divergence, which is another signal of a weakness. So we've got two factors that are telling us we're likely going to get a correction. But we have more. Down here on our trend identifier dashboard, we can see that the weekly momentum is overbought, and it tells us that the upside is limited. And the daily momentum is also overbought, and the upside should be limited. And it's referring to this. This is a really good indicator that helps us measure tops, But when it coincides with pattern, price, and a few other factors, it can be really powerful. So I've drawn the detail on this chart already, and I'm just going to reveal it over here. And this is what I'm seeing over here. So again, focus on the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Classic. We've got price ratios and we've got the momentum overbought. Now, what I'm going to be doing, I've actually just created a new free membership for you. It's a gift from me to you, where I do a weekly update on Bitcoin, and there's a Bitcoin report, because it gives us a really good flavor for the rest of the crypto markets. So you can get access to this in the link below. However, this week, I'm due to do it. I'm going to do a detailed breakdown of Ethereum, because this is some textbook patterns. And if we find that Ethereum does break this low over here, this swing low, and overlaps into this wave structure over here, which is it's almost pretty much doing already, then we're probably going to get a big correction to the downside. So I'm just going to finish on one last thing, and it's called a retracement. What is the minimum expectations if, and it is still an if Ethereum does take a move to the downside? And the most common correction, if it ends up being a correction, is a three-wave structure. So let me just show it to you like this, so you have it really for your reference. More often than not, what the market will do is at least some type of three-wave structure. And more often than not, it will hit a minimum of 50% of the move to the upside. So we measured this move. We've done what's called a retracement, which is what this line is over here. And the price point is around the $1,400 mark. So we want to be aware of that. And that's highly probable. Now, we're trying to catch it at the beginning. So I'm looking to short Ethereum right now, because it'll become more obvious if this happens and we get to here and we get to here. That will become more obvious. But what we're aiming to do to make money from the markets is identify the end of a trend. Because remember, the trend is your friend. Ride it until its end, until it reaches its bend. And a wave 5 is the end of a trend. However, it has not been confirmed yet, but we have to make a decision before it's obvious. So we've got the momentum that makes it a bit clearer for us. We got pattern, we got price ratios, and this is the minimum expectation to the downside. But I am going to do a detailed analysis, because there's a few other factors on an hourly chart that I want to break down. But I'm going to include that in this week's free Bitcoin report, and I'm going to include Ethereum, because I think there's a lot of money to be made over the coming weeks and months, because I've been actually waiting for this setup quite patiently as well. So if you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let's finish on a quote. Let's regurgitate what we just said. Repetition being the mother of all skill. The trend is your friend. Ride it until its end, until it reaches its bend. We want a mechanical, objective way of identifying the end of a trend. And 5s and 3s is your best friend. knowing that the market typically breaks down to 5-wave structure, where the momentum can help us to see if it's coming towards the end of a 5-wave structure. We can then break down Fibonacci price ratios there's a few nuances with how waves operate, buying and selling psychology, where the fundamentals are already baked in. So check out the report. I'm going to do a detailed analysis. It'll probably be either today or tomorrow, and I'll break down Ethereum, just the real detailed technicals that I want to go into.